What's up, YouTube? It's me, Drika K, and I'm back with another video. It has been a minute, not like a long time, but it's kind of been quite some time since I came on here and just kind of like did a video where I'm just kind of like talking and being a little personal. Yeah, remember, we listen and we don't judge, right? Well, I'm finally done. I'm done. I'm finally done. And this is the straw that broke the camel's back. As if like the other straws shouldn't have been the reason why it broke the camel's back. But this is the straw that broke the camel's back, y'all. Like, I'm done. Me and my child's father, it has not always been the best relationship ever. As a matter of fact, it has never been the best relationship ever. I saw signs early on in the beginning while talking to him that, you know, I should have left him alone, but me just being hard-headed, y'all already know the story. If you don't, go back and look at my videos, and you'll understand. But as if I hadn't already, because I'm not gonna put the blame on him, but as if I hadn't already put myself through enough trouble as is with him, you would think that I would have been done after like the first, you know, couple of times and stuff like that. But it's crazy because this year, the year 2025, I'm officially done, y'all. Like, I can't keep doing it. I can't keep going no contact and then secretly waiting for him to reach out to me, or if I reach out to him, I'm done. I'm done with it. Like I said, the prayer of deliverance, like, Lord, help me with this because I'm struggling with this. Like, I finally just broke down last weekend and I told the Lord, like, this is something that I'm struggling with. I'm struggling to get rid of this connection with me and my child's father. Like, I do not want to do this anymore because it's not healthy. He does not care about me. He does not value me. Everything is one-sided. It's either his way or no way. Very narcissistic. All of the above. I'm just done, y'all. And I've gotten all of my tears out, you know, and stuff like that. But it is what it is. It's done. I can't keep putting myself through this, and I can't keep blocking my blessings, because that's exactly what's going on. Whether I realize it or not, that's exactly what's going on. Because sometimes the Lord will not bless us because we have certain people around us. And these people, the Lord may have told us like several times, like, cut this person off. But I admit, I was still, you know, seeing him, you know, even though we weren't like, you know, having sexual intercourse like all the time. But it would be like, we'll go a whole year without doing anything with each other, you know, and stuff like that. But I'm even done with that, because this is the straw that broke the camel's back. And I know that I'm putting y'all in my business, but this is how I vent, y'all. Like, this is how I just get over stuff. So last weekend, now it was my fault. I reached out to him because sometimes I just wonder about him. Like, you know, I just want to know how he's doing or whatever. And I know that's stupid because, I mean, he don't care about how I be doing. But that's just the type of person that I am. Like, I just was wondering if he was okay. So I reached out to him and I was like, hey, baby daddy. I was like, just checking in on you. And so, okay, that started, like, our conversation. We was talking for a couple of days or whatever. And so everything was good. Everything was great. And like, this is a continuous cycle. Like, a lot of times he'll either reach out to me or I'll reach out to him, but each time it never ends well. Like, it's always something, and it's made to seem like it's my fault, even though I'm the one that first initiates and like block him and stuff like that. But I'm realizing, like, it's very narcissistic. It's not always me. A lot of time I'm taking accountability for stuff that really and truly is his fault, but I blame me because I can leave. But a lot of times I find myself apologizing to him for stuff that I haven't even done anything wrong. Like, I find myself apologizing to him for voicing my opinion or making him feel a certain type of way when I never get none of that in return. I'm always he always gaslights me. He always tell me I'm overthinking everything. I always tell me it's not fair because I'm bringing up something from the past. I'm just never right. Like, I do everything wrong. I'm always the one that's in the wrong, and he's just so perfect. Like, he doesn't do anything wrong. As if, he hasn't caused me enough pain in my life. And I'm just tired of that, because I know that despite everything, even though I have stayed, some people are like, well, it's your fault because you stayed. It is my fault. I take accountability. Like, sometimes I tell myself, like, I have too much accountability, because sometimes I take accountability for stuff that's not even really my fault. But I just find myself like apologizing for stuff that I really shouldn't even have to apologize for, and I'm just done. Like I say, this time I reached out to him and I was like, hey baby daddy, how you doing? Just checking on you or whatever. And so we went a good like 3 days or whatever. We was like communicating and stuff like that. And so he wanted to link up so that we could, or whatever. And in the past, like, this is kind of like how it goes, or whatever. But like I said, something always goes wrong, and then I end up blocking him. Like I said, I'm always the person that's wrong, and he's just so perfect, and he never does anything wrong. I get upset for no reason, or that's what he says or whatever. But this time we were planning to link up, but at this time, this is not even like a planned strategy. It's just that I wanted to. But this time, I really wasn't up for the drive. So I told him that. And I noticed then he started getting kind of weird. He was like, oh, okay, cool, or whatever. Like, and I noticed that he was starting to get kind of upset. And I knew it was because he's probably like, all the other times when I tell you to come here, you'll come. Like, I'll jump, because I want to see my baby daddy. And, I'm in the mood, y'all. I'm human. The Lord is still working on me, and this is my story. This is my testimony. This is real and raw. But he'll say, come over, and I'll jump and I'll go, whatever. But this time it wasn't really like that, and I noticed he didn't really like it, because he was like, okay, cool, and it was, it was kind of like dry. But he said something else or whatever, and then I was like, no, because I don't feel like traveling all the way where you are. Keep in mind, like, where I thought he was staying at is like more than like, it's maybe like an hour away or something like that, and it was like late or whatever. And then I was like, cause you're way in da da da, I'm not gonna say it. And then he was like, actually I'm not, I'm in da da da, which is a place that's not even 15 minutes away from it. So that was a little better or whatever. And so I was like at first when I thought I was gonna have to travel like the hour, I was like, well, baby daddy, I was like, I guess we just gonna have to see each other whenever we can. So he was like, oh, and then he was like, cool. Like, it's the way he was texting. I wish I had the message, but I just deleted all of them, because I'm really done. I don't care anymore. But I could just tell, like, he started getting kind of hostile through the texts or whatever. And so he was like, I'm not even in such and such, I'm in such and such. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I said, why can't you come to me? And then that started something else, and I can't really remember his response, but I know there was something snappy. Like, he started getting like very, even more hostile. Like he said, what up? Like, I normally have you wrapped around my fingers, but now you're not complying to what I'm wanting you to do. Like, that's how it was, or whatever. And so I can't really remember verbatim, but somehow I ended up bringing up the fact, like, okay, we can do this, but we have to do this protected, because there has been a lot of things that's just been going on in my city and just all over the world. STD rates are sky high. I know some certain things, some people's statuses now, so it's kind of like, I'm like, I gotta be careful, because like, I know these things, so I know that it's out here, which I've always known, like, you know, STDs and things were out there or whatever, and HIV and stuff like that, AIDS, all of that, herpes. I've always known all of that has been out there. But it's like when it affects someone close to you, it's just kind of like, wow, I gotta wake up, you know. And so, being that I know the status of a couple of people I found out about or whatever, it made it difficult for me. Like, I'm already very selective when it comes down to having sex. So this time I'm just like, being that I know this or whatever, not saying that my child's father may have come in contact with these people or whatever, or not saying that he has any of these things or whatever, but I'm just thinking safe, because I'm like, we haven't had sex in almost like a year. So in that time frame, we have not had sex, so I don't know who you have been sleeping with. Keep in mind, my baby daddy has a 2-year-old daughter, and I even mentioned that to him, but I'm gonna get to that. So I mentioned the fact that I wanted to do this, but I wanted to do it protected. Oh, and he flew off the handle, y'all. Like, he got upset about that. He sent like a long paragraph saying I've known him 5+ years and that he has never brought anything back to me. And granted, he has not, you know, but that's besides the point or whatever. But I know my child's father. Like, I just know dudes in general, like, people do not like to use protection. They don't. I'm just being real. People do not like to have protected sex. Why? I do not know. But they just don't. So, he was upset about that. Oh, you've known me 5+ years. I've never brought anything back to you. What's your friends got to do with my status? They probably out there just effing. You know, that has nothing to do with me. You being unfair and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you're not trying to see things my way at all. And then he gets upset. He was like, you know, whatever you got going on, enjoy that, have that, because now I don't even want to do it anymore. You know, just getting upset. And I'm just like, you're not understanding where I'm coming from. I'm trying to protect myself. I get myself checked up, but I don't know what my child's father, I don't know if he gets checked regularly. So it's better safe than sorry. I was not saying that he had anything, but we do not have sex like on the often for me to just be like, I just know that I'm not his only sexual partner. I've always, you know, and like I say, we listen and we don't judge. But I know I'm sure of myself, you know, whatever, but him, very questionable or whatever. But you know, he gets upset about that, and it hurts my feelings because he's not understanding me. He's not understanding I'm trying to protect myself. He's not understanding I'm trying to protect him. He's just not understanding. It's almost as if he's like, excuse my language, but damn your status. Like, I don't care about that. Like, why do you want to use protection? Like, that's the vibe that he was giving. Like, that's the vibe that he was on. And that upset me because I'm just like, wow. Like, that's a red flag. Like, you really don't care about me. You really don't care about me, because there are some STDs that can hide dormant in you, and although you may think you're good, you know, and then it's just crazy. And so I remember I told him, and I was just like, you're not understanding this. And I was like, because you're out here having babies, and I said this has nothing to do, like, you know, with me, you know, trying to be upset and be like, oh, my baby died, you know, pity party, and you're having other. I don't care about that anymore. My baby has been gone 5 years, should be 6 this year. It wasn't nothing on that level, but I'm trying to get him to understand, like, you just had a baby. And then he was like, yeah, 2 years ago. So you expect for me to believe that this entire time that you ain't been doing nothing with nobody? Your baby's here because you had what? Raw sex. Okay. So you know, I was trying to get him to understand that, and y'all, he just was not trying to understand me in no kind of way. It's always like that. He never understands where I'm coming from. He doesn't even understand the fact why I had him block my entire pregnancy. I'm almost willing to bet you, like, he faults me. He faults me for that, as if he didn't take me through hell to, like, really make me, like, block him, you know, as if he didn't play a part in that. You know, maybe I was a little immature or whatever, but I had my reasons. It was never to hurt him or to hurt my baby or anything like that. It was strictly to get my baby here safe and so that I could be stress free. So I had him blocked my entire pregnancy. But again, if he wanted to, he would have. You could have contacted me through your mother's phone. You could have, there's a lot of stuff, because I can remember blocking him like before I even got pregnant. He always found a way to reach out or to get to me. So it's like if he wanted to, he would have. But you know, everything is just always my fault with him, and I'm tired of it. And this right here is the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, this was enough. As if, you know, back then I've gone through a lot with my child's father. I remember early on in our relationship, he ended up dumping me because I didn't want a baby. He told me, you don't want a baby, so I don't want a relationship with you, bye. And I was stupid enough to go back to him. I was stupid enough to go back to him. So, yeah, that was a red flag. And while being with my child's father, I'll never forget one day I let him borrow my car, and I was just like, I never let dudes hold my car ever. Like, I've always had a pet peeve with that, because I know how guys do. I know what they do. I know that it could be a chance that they use my car to go to another female's house. So I never let a guy use my car ever. But one night he asked me if he could use my car to go get his brother. And I believed it. After like really like questioning him, I was like, hey, I'm like, you know, I don't like doing that. I used to literally sleep on top of my keys. You know, and if I had to do that, then that shows how much I didn't really trust him for real, for real. But I used to literally sleep on top of my keys, because I remember like some girls would be like, you know, their dude stole their car, you know, and stuff like that. So I never want to be put in a position like that. But like I said, one day he was like, he asked if he could use the car because he had to go get his brother. And I knew his brother was in town. And I believed it. I believed it, but it took so much for me to break down and give him those keys. But he did exactly what I knew that he was going to do. He betrayed my trust. I'll never forget, a girl came to my house and she showed me a video of him, and like he was licking another girl's toes, y'all. Like, I have been through the most with him, but I'm always wrong. I'm always the one that's wrong. He don't do nothing wrong. Everything is because of me. Everything is because of me. It's never his fault. But I'll never forget that. I'll never forget every moment that I'm about to mention. It hurt me so much. So yeah, that time. And then also, when I found out I was pregnant, I also found out that my child father had brought in another female into our home, to my home, because I let him move in with me. I let him move in with me. And that was the worst mistake ever. I should have listened to my first mind when I started feeling uncomfortable, and I should have made him go home. But because I liked him so much and I just wanted to help him, I dropped my standards. And yeah. But yeah, he brought somebody into my house while I was gone in Atlanta with my parents. Brought another female into my home, in my bed, as if that wasn't enough. That should have been the straw that broke the camel's back. But just dumb. Just dumb. We broke up for a little bit. And that was pretty much the ending of it, to be honest. Because that was just like a big no-no. Like, at that point, he did have to go. He had to go home. But I was pregnant. And I remember telling him, like, just because I'm pregnant, that does not mean that you're going to stay here. Because I meant that. Like, you disrespected me. Like, that was enough. But I messed up, because even though we broke up and that was like officially it, that was the end of our relationship, on down the line, I ended up back messing with him. He didn't move back in with me, but I was still messing around with him, because at that point I had my baby, our daughter passed away, and I wanted another baby. We wanted another baby. So we was like messing around and stuff like that. And all this time, like I said, we've been messing around. Like, it went from like almost every week, you know, messing around and stuff like that. Then it started becoming like months in between, to the point where it started being like maybe like once every year. You know, it got really slack, but I still was like messing around with him. Somehow he would reach out to me, or I would reach out to him, because I felt like it was a soul tie. Like, I could literally feel, and it was real, I could literally feel when this boy is like missing me. I could literally feel when he was craving my body. He would either show up in my dreams, or I would just like strongly be thinking about him, and then I might reach out and he'll be like, man, he'll be like, I was just about to, you know, text you. Or sometimes we might bump heads texting each other, or he'll be like, Drika, how are you? You know, like that type of thing. I'm like, wow, he was just in my dream. Like, it'd be crazy. I be telling my cousin Juicy, like Juicy, he finna reach out, because I'm like, I got that feeling, and sure enough, he would reach out. That was the kind of bond that we had, or whatever, like connection, or tie, soul tie, whatever you want to call it. But I'm done. This whole situation of him not wanting to use protection to sleep with me is beyond me. I was sad about it, and I admit, like, I did drop my standards, and I remember I was like begging him. And like, y'all, this took me back to when I first lost my daughter. Like, the way I felt last week, I was so upset with myself, because I'm like, I fell back. I felt horrible, y'all. And I just remember I was like, you said you would never feel this way ever again. And so that upset me, because I allowed myself to go back to a dark place that I had got, that the Lord delivered me from. And so I was upset with myself. I felt bad about myself. Negative thoughts were coming in, like, you know what I'm saying, I'm ugly, nobody's gonna love me the way he loved me, like nobody's gonna give me attention the way he gave me attention. And y'all, this how I know it was the enemy, because he doesn't give me attention. He never loved me. I never felt special to him ever. Like, ever. That's how I know it's just like a trauma bond, and we have to be careful that sometimes it's just familiar, you know. But yeah, I admit, and because that's just the type of person I am. When I love. And I remember I just was like kind of like begging him, and I was just like, well, do you go get checked regularly? And then he was like, it doesn't matter, because we not doing it no more. He was like, I'm straight on it, I don't want to do it, you know, and stuff like that. And he was saying other things, and then I remember I asked him, and I was like, do you? And then he was like, it doesn't matter, because I don't want to anymore. And I remember I was like, can I please just, you know, come over? Because also my body is in the mood. Like, I'm ready for this. It has been a minute. It has been a minute since me and him have done anything. And it has been a minute since I had sex. So my body is ready for this. So it wasn't so much of the fact, like, I wanted to, like, specifically, like, it wasn't so much of, like, you know, wanting to be with him. Like, I want to be, you know, in love and married. It's more like a sexual attraction that I have to him. I realize that too, because it's never just him. But I know, like, the sexual attraction is there heavily. So that's a lot that has, you know, to do with it. So I always knew, like, I had to stop sleeping with him, but it was hard. It has been hard. But this right here has just really, it has given me that push, because it's like, you know, you don't care about me. You don't care to see things my way, and then you're upset with me and don't want to sleep with me because I want to use protection. That's diabolical. You know how much stuff going on out here, and that's also a red flag. Like, you want to burn me or something. Like, you want to leave a window open for it to be a possibility that you could accidentally give me something. Yeah. No. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. All the other times the Lord protected me, all the unprotected sex that me and my child's father has ever done, he has protected me, because since the time, like, even when I was supposed to be the only girl, I learned I was not the only girl. After everything, after all the smoke cleared, I learned that I was never the only girl. So I'm blessed. I'm thankful that I have never contracted anything from him. I do give that to him, but that he doesn't get a pat on the back, because even though it may have not been physical abuse, emotional abuse, I allowed myself to go through that with him. Because like I said, I was always wrong, and he's perfect, you know. So, but I'm done now. I felt the way last weekend, and I thought I would never feel ever again, but here I am in 2025 feeling like that, and I just like, I gotta shake back. And then over something so stupid like this, I was like, I gotta learn my self-worth. To sit there and beg him like that, y'all, I got so disgusted with myself. And I remember telling him, like, you won't hear from me again. I'm sorry. You won. Like, that's literally what I told him. I said, good night. Y'all, as I typed those words in my phone, my heart was breaking, because I felt that this was the last time. It's the last time, y'all. It's the last time. It's the last time. I have gone through too much with him, and I'm tired of myself. I'm tired of putting myself in this continuous cycle. I'm tired. I'm tired. So, yeah. That's it. I gotta be strong. I asked the Lord for deliverance, and I'm gonna keep on asking him to strengthen me, to keep going on about my business, to keep ignoring him. Not saying that he's gonna reach out to me, because I mean he's blocked, but I'm not looking forward for him to do that, because I'm done. I want to be done. Like, there is no respect for me in any of this what we're doing. And I feel like I'm too good of a person. I've gone through way too much in my life to have to pull up with that. And I'm not being rude, not trying to down him or nothing like that, but there are plenty of fish in the sea. There are more men out there that and I'm not down to him, but there are more men out here that look better than that have more money than that can take care of my emotional needs, better than that can sex me better than that. Not saying that that's all I want, but I just know there's someone out there that can treat me way better than what he has. And I'm no disrespect to him, and I'm pretty sure there's probably plenty of women out there that can treat him better than I have. But I mean, I would like to see it, because I loved him. I loved him, and I never wanted to do anything to hurt him. Like, never. Even regardless of that situation in my last YouTube video that resulted in me being sexually assaulted. But I had a lot of love for my child's father. I still do love him, but I gotta love him from a distance. Like, I gotta choose me this time. I gotta give myself a chance. Since I'm always wrong, I gotta give myself a chance to be right. Since he's perfect, he gotta go be with somebody that's perfect, because it's not me. But I'm done, y'all. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.